To be a zone running back in the NFL, you need patience, vision, and you have to be decisive. All three of these traits are requirements in this scheme. When Kyle Shanahan became the 49ers head coach, many were concerned that Carlos Hyde wouldn't be a good fit. He's a thick-bodied runner and had a tendency to dance behind the line of scrimmage. In an outside zone system, those traits, combined with concerns over his vision, really made people worry. Well, this past Sunday, he gained 124 rushing yards on just 15 carries versus the Seahawks. The vast majority of those yards came on 2 carries that went for 61 and 27 yards respectively. Looking at a 61-yard run first, the 49ers lined up in I formation, then motioned their fullback play side. They snap the ball, and they run inside zone to the right. Using the fullback as a kickout blocker, Hyde reads the nose tackle and the 3-tech before cutting through the backside D-gap. From a defensive standpoint, the Seahawks are in a 4-3 over front pre-snap, and they have 8 men in the box. Jeremy Lane was the backside edge defender and does not collapse the kickout blocker. In the next level, both of the Seahawks linebackers attack the backside A-gap, while Cam Chancellor gets completely distracted by Marquise Goodwin running around the edge. When I track a play like this, I think the vast majority of running backs can set up this play. I do think that Hyde showed great patience and surprising burst to get into the hole, but the play design, in my opinion, is what actually frees him into the secondary. Looking at his 27-yard run at the end of the second quarter, the play comes on 3rd and 12. After an incompletion on first down and a negative 2-yard run on second down, I really don't think the Seahawks expected the 49ers to run the ball. They had just called their second timeout, and it seemed like they were trying to get the ball before halftime. So, with that being said, the Seahawks are actually running a tackle exchange stunt with Michael Bennett and Sheldon Richardson. Bennett penetrates while Richardson tries to loop behind him. This is why there is this giant hole in the middle of the defense. After the snap, Frank Clark rushes hard up the field, and the playside linemen easily get to the second level. From here, this is just poor defensive play. Cam Chancellor doesn't wrap up, and Hyde bounces off of him to keep their drive alive. So outside of these 2 runs though, the Seahawks were able to hold Hyde to under 3 yards per carry. Both of his long runs actually ended in field goals. This means that even though the defense allowed these big plays, they recovered enough to stop the 49ers from doing any real damage. From a general theme standpoint, Hyde pretty much produced what his offensive line blocked for him. If they blocked for 3, he gained 3. If they blocked for 6, he gained 6. For 7 of his 15 carries, the Seahawks were able to stop him short. They forced the offense into those awkward 2nd and 7 and 2nd and 10 situations based on their front 7. In this play on 3rd and 1, Sheldon Richardson throws the center out of his path, and then he helps KJ Wright and Cam Chancellor wrap up the running back before he gets the first down. During this game, my favorite run came at the start of the 4th quarter. The 49ers motioned their fullback from the weak side to the strong side and run outside zone to the right. Michael Bennett, who was originally a 6-tech lining up opposite the tight end, ripped his way into the backfield. Hyde slips this tackle, and then he slips an arm tackle by Nazir Jones, who was pretty much tackled from behind. Regardless, that's 2 tackles Hyde missed, and he was able to turn an instant 2-yard loss into a 6-yard gain just by having the strength and balance to stay on his feet. As a pure running back, this was his style. Hyde was never that elusive, and really he was always characterized by his ability to bully through tackles and fall forward to gain extra yards. So, is he a good fit in the zone blocking scheme? Generally, my answer is yes. I think he has the short area burst to run these plays. I also think he runs with good vision, and even though he had a problem dancing behind the line of scrimmage in the past, he has not done that in his first 2 games. On the flip side, his footwork can get a bit sloppy at times, and this will slow his cuts. Jumping back to week 1, he was actually very effective against the Panthers, gaining over 6 yards per carry in the first half. In the first quarter, the 49ers run what many coaches call mid-zone. This is very similar to inside zone, but the aiming point of this play is actually off of the outside leg of the offensive tackle as opposed to aiming at the guard. After the snap, he reads number 93, number 98, and decides to cut the ball into the backside C gap. He takes a hop step, and then he takes 3 small steps in order to accelerate through the gap. While it may seem minor in real time, the zone scheme is all about the quick one cut to get up the field. Taking 3 steps, even though he did get into the hole, is an issue that I saw on tape. Now, it's not a drastic life-changing issue, as there are plenty of things that are objectively worse, but it's just something he'll need to work on. During his first carry in that same game, you can tell that when he does cut sharply and gains ground with his front foot up the field, he can definitely fit the scheme. He also shows a nice ability to press the hole and push defenders out of his path. From a fantasy perspective, I don't see Matt Breida or one of the other 49ers running backs taking over. He plays against the Rams tonight, and their usual stout defense gave up over 200 rushing yards against the Redskins. I don't honestly see that happening again, but I could easily see a 75-yard game and him possibly scoring a touchdown. Overall, I think he's done enough to prove that he's adapted to the scheme. However, in 22 zone runs, the majority of his yards have come mainly due to the offensive line and the play calls by Kyle Shanahan. Their use of misdirection and motions have generally set up the offense to create running lanes. If you are a Seahawks fan watching this video, please take extra note how much I like this and why I think Tom Cable needs to use it to create room. Going back to Hyde, I think he can execute his own play, but he does need more time. Switching from a man scheme to a pure zone stretch scheme is very difficult. The mentality and the systematic approach to be an effective running back is a mindset that many man-blocking runners can't always break. Hyde does look promising in his limited carries, but like I said, more time will help him develop the natural feel for finding creases. Well, that's all I have for you in this breakdown. If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel. Also, if you want to leave a donation, go ahead and click the link to my Patreon account. Any amount is appreciated, so thank you very much if you're already a supporter. As always, you can follow me on Twitter at Samuel R. Gold.